You're listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Podcast Network. My name is Ken Lawler. I'm the host and the developer of the LOZ app and the LOZ app Podcast Network. And we have another show on Coves and Keys, which you guys know is all about real estate at the lake, what's going on. I'm excited today because we have a really cool project to talk about. We're here with Brad Wade, Austin Riley. They are associated with the Kingdom. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Kingdom, but it's a huge development, going to be a big development. We're going in stages, but if you go down right at the entrance there, right past Portachima on the left, you'll see the start of it. They've already put up some man caves over there. Now we're doing residential, we're doing commercial. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So Brad, tell me, how did you get into building here at the lake? Like, what's the history of that?
Well, it's been actually a long drawn out path, but so I started in Illinois. I had a couple businesses there. I actually owned a glass shop, insulation company, and I built custom homes there.
Okay.
So I had the opportunity to sell those businesses, sold those businesses, moved to Wentzville, started building in Wentzville, built there, and then started building down here in 2019. And it sort of drug us in. So we live here full time.
Got full time. And then Wentzville exploded, right? I mean,
completely different.
Anybody who visited Wentzville 10, 15 years ago and today, it's not the same.
No,
it's its own community.
Different town. No. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of happened here at the lake, right, Austin? I mean, that's what's going on. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, yes, there was building going on. There was a lot happening. Nothing compared to what's been going on the last 5 to 6 years here.
Right. And I've lived here my whole life. My dad's owned a construction company down here for 30 years. And what he did 15 years ago compared to now is crazy. And Brad's seen it in the last 5 and 6 years even. So it's a fun place, and it's getting even better.
Well, I think people know you from seeing the big man caves, right? I mean, so those are, and let's face it, those were not around 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, right? I mean, this is a new thing where people are building these huge, I'll call them man caves. I mean, they're toy boxes, they're places to put your stuff, and you also can live in them. But you guys are moving into a little different phase as well, right? So not only did you have that phase, which you're kind of closing out, but you're opening up a commercial side and then also a residential side, right?
Correct.
Now, does residential mean that it's just a plain house, or do I still get my toy box?
So we got 3 different floor plans. We do have I'd say a standard house with a smaller garage. That's around 1,098 square feet.
Okay.
And then we got 2 that have the larger garages. One's around 1,700 and one's 1,900. Or no, I'm sorry, 1,900 and 1,400 square feet. So those both have anywhere from a 20 by 50 garage, 16 foot tall, to a 24 by 50 garage,
Which is like a mini airplane hangar, really. I mean, those are, you can fit a lot of stuff in there, right?
Yeah. So we're sort of moving away from the man cave, I guess, label.
Okay.
These are more residential houses, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, full kitchens, all the nicer finishings of a residential house. So.
And so this will be a community then. So you're full-time residential community, and then there's going to be some commercial aspects to this, right?
There is.
And tell me a little about that. So what are you trying to draw in on the commercial side? Like, what kinds of things do you see coming in the commercial side of this thing?
Well, the commercial side, we were typically doing the man caves. So we got 2 of those left to actually sell. After that, we're looking into transitioning into individual shops for people, because it seems to be that everybody wants to be disconnected from their neighbor, not right next to their neighbor.
Right.
So they got more of their own facility.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the direction. We'll go probably 40 by 60s, 60 by 60s, 80 by 80s.
Okay.
So it'll be a bigger version of.
And this is, how many acres is this total project?
It was 24.
24 acres, so a lot of room.
3.5 acres of commercial, which is on the front road frontage going into the project. So,
and from real estate point of view, what's the advantage of being over in this environment? Like, what does it lend to the buyer?
So when Brad and the developers came to us, their idea was we want to have a project or a product that people drive in, park their RVs, if whether they're snowbirds and they use an RV in Arizona or something like that for 6 months, and then they want to be at the lake for 6 months, you've got a place, you're not paying for storage somewhere else, and a house or a condo. You've got it all right there. But also at the same time, before he moved here full time, he was like, I come down and I spend a day with my family getting the house ready.
Mhm.
So they really wanted to look for that maintenance free lifestyle. He goes, I want people to pull in their garage, shut the garage, and go to dog days or go to backwater or put their boat in and go wakeboarding and skiing. And when they're done on Sunday or Monday, they open the garage, pull out, and leave. And
Yeah, lock and leave. I mean, that's
To touch on something Austin just brought up is we have amenities on the project. So we're going to have pickleball courts, pool,
Oh,
clubhouse, and actually we own the back of a cove that has a boat ramp.
oh
But
wow, that's just
that's phase 3, but that will be coming. So you can pull your boat out of your unit, drop it in the water, go boating, put it back up. The lake, it's progressed so much. A lot of people, I would say, it's hard for them to afford a lot of lake houses now.
Yeah.
Well, this has given them an avenue that's reasonable to be able to enjoy the lake.
And I mean, having, eventually having some water access is key, right? I mean, that's to be able to get your boat in and out. And I mean, that kind of gives you everything. So what a great, like you said, a great opportunity for snowbirds, people who maybe winter in Arizona or Florida and they come back here in the summers. They don't want they don't be cutting grass. They don't want to have the hassle of, keeping up on a home. And, let's face it, down here at the lake with the weather we have, you're doing a lot of work to your homes a lot of the time. So, and I know you said you built in Winsville, but you also have a couple of projects going on down here as well that aren't connected to the kingdom, right?
I do.
Building.
Yeah.
Tell us about those.
So I've built quite a few, I would say, custom specs at this point. Sold, I think, 3 of them now. I got 2 out in Shawnee Preserve that are getting ready to go on the market, anywhere from 4,800 to 6,000 square feet. Pools, docks. I mean, they're going to be set and ready to go. So
The full, the traditional, lake house,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And so, tell me, what are these homes going to range from price wise? Do you have any pricing set yet, or what's the range on?
So we got 3 different models. You have the cabin, the queen, and the king. We have a cabin and a king completely finished right now and on the market. There's a queen, the 3rd model, and then another king that'll be ready here in just 2 or 3 weeks. The cabin starts at $324,900. The queen is at $449,900 starting, and the king is at $499,900. So you've kind of got that range of that 300 price range, which is a really strong price range in our
which is rare. I mean, to get
Mhm.
even off of water is rare because I mean, for brand new construction, you're usually well above that. So.
Right. And in a community where you're going to have the pool and the pickleball courts and the boat ramp and that kind of stuff. And then on your queen model, that's the biggest garage. It's around 1,100, 1,200 living quarters. But then you've got a 24 by 53 garage there too. So like we touched on earlier, we have people that rent an RV storage, and then they have the condo, and then they pay a bunch for amenities. These amenities are affordable, and you've got everything right there. So,
well, and if you have someone who's, they got an RV because they're doing the winter thing, and then maybe they got a ski boat, wave boat that they're bringing down to have fun here, they can drop in the water, but they don't have to have it on the lift all the time.
right.
They got plenty of room to put their toys. They got plenty of room in the shop to do whatever, tinker whatever else they want to do, and a nice lock and leave situation. So you come in, you do your stuff, and you get out, and there's not a lot of work. And I think everyone, at least my age, when you get in your 50s, you realize these big houses are great until you got to take care of them. Yeah. I mean, and they are a full-time job sometimes, which it can be great if you're into it, but you get to a point in your life where you kind of want to simplify a little bit. And it sounds to me like that's going to be a group of individuals that you guys are going to attract. Like, I did my big house on the water. I did all the work. I still love the lake. I want to be here. I might travel a little bit, but what a great home base to have and be able to park my toys in here when I want to.
Well, I think the expensive, and I'm not saying bad about RV parks right now, but the expense of the monthly rental on the RVs has went up so much at the lake. It's not like the old lake.
Right.
You could go in and stay, a night here and there. You basically had to rent them for a month,
right?
And $400, $500, $600 a month to do that. So I think this is a good alternative for that.
And so you think this project's got about a 4 to 5 year build out on, so I mean, that's kind of, I look at that as a positive, because when you're invested for that amount of time, and that you're doing phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. But I will say, I've gotten into a lot of new builds before. The best time to get in when it's the stage 1. Don't, because you guys aren't going down in price for stage 2, right?
Right.
So getting in on that front stage, you might have to deal with a little bit of construction. You might have to deal with a little bit of dirt, whatever, but you're going to save thousands of dollars over, your neighbors who are going to be moving in a couple of years.
Well, and then, I mean, the 4 or 5 year build out, you were one of these first people in. At the end of this thing, you have that much equity built in your house already. So.
Exactly. And I think the one thing that we've proven at the lake is that no matter what you buy, it's going up. It's just, it's an appreciated market. In 06, 07, everything went down a little bit, but it's snapped back here quicker. And if you thought you could get on the water for $300,000 back in 07, 08, you can't get on the water now for less than $600,000-700,000.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and that's a cabin, we're talking. So it's a great opportunity, I think, for people who really want to enjoy the lake. They don't have to be on the water the whole time. They want all the amenities. And like you said, the best thing is you lock that door and leave, and when you come back, it's going to be just the way you left it.
Right.
And having a pool and pickleball, I mean, those are all things that have happened on the West Coast and in Phoenix and down in Florida. And now it's kind of coming to Missouri, which is great because, people want those amenities and they want to stay active and they want to have, those things going on in their neighborhood. So tell us, how'd you get in the business, Austin? What's your history, man?
So
you've been here for 40 years, right?
Close. No, 28 years I've lived here. And after I got done with college, like I said, my dad owned a construction company and that's what I always thought I was going to do. And so that's what I did. When I graduated, I started with him and he was kind of transitioning out of the new builds more into the remodels and the development is kind of where my heart was. And while I still liked it and I learned a ton of stuff, he could tell it kind of just wasn't what I wanted to do. So one day he came into work and he said, we're going to go to lunch with Jeff and Mel Krantz. I didn't think anything of it. They've been friends with me since I was born. So I said, okay. And we were about
you didn't know it was a recruitment lunch.
Right. And so I went in and we were just talking like normal. And they said, you've been building it for a couple of years. You ever think about selling it? And I'm like, okay, well, now I know why I'm here.
What a great, but I mean, look, to work for those two is awesome. I mean, they're some of the best people at the lake. They just absolutely want the best for everyone. We had Mel on a podcast about 3 weeks ago, and it's just what they built along with Jason. I mean, they just really built an amazing company over there at Remax, and it's what I didn't realize is if you buy a home at the lake or sell a home at the lake, there's a 50% chance you did it with Remax. I mean, half the market. That's huge, and that gives a lot of different flexibility for you guys when you're looking at, let's say somebody wants to come in and they want to move into your place, but they got to sell a place to get out of it. You guys have all the resources and all the availability to help them get rid of that place they're in, get into this new environment. I mean, the lenders and all the insurance and all the stuff you have to think about, you guys have that figured out.
Well, and that's a great thing. Like you said, it is, I learned pretty quickly, there's no two real estate deals that are exactly the same. And it's great for them and what they've grown in that network to be able to kind of overcome any of those special deals or anything like that. So yeah, it's been great to be with them. And we've got people on our team that have been in real estate from 2 years, and we got people that are 35 years plus. So chances are, no matter what we're seeing, somebody in that team has seen it. And it's great to be able to bounce ideas off of them and say, hey, I'm dealing with this. How can we get through this?
So how do they find information out about the Kingdom? There's a website, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, we do have, Facebook,
Okay, so you have a Facebook page.
We got a platform there. And then, of course, they can go to Krantz and
so you go on to Krantz and their website. They'll have information on it. You have a Facebook page out there.
Yeah.
Just look at the Kingdom. That's what you're going to go for. And what a neat project. I think, what I think is fun about it is you guys have a lot of it planned out, but you're open to moving with the market and seeing what's there. And, and as we know, the market changes a couple of years. All of a sudden somebody wants this on their house or they want this added to it. You guys will be flexible enough to kind of respond to that.
We are, and we have other floor plans that we're looking at, a typical house or, a bigger house type of build, because a lot of people want those. I mean, I think the demand is pretty high for them. We haven't got into those stages yet of actually nailing that down, but it's in talks.
And are most of these single level units? Are they? So I mean, look,
No steps.
that's the thing. Like, and you know, for me personally, like I have parents that are getting a little bit older, and I think the trend now is to try to find a spot for your parents with you. You know, like maybe I can get them a section in a home that's kind of their livable section, and I'm living in part of it. And when you do new construction, that gives you the ability to possibly figure something out like that. And then with these big garages, if you have a couple living in there and your parents are with you, then, you know, you might need the space, right? So, but I just think there's a lot of things going on out there where the people are looking at how they live differently, and they want something that's not the normal traditional, you know, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage house. They want something that's a little unique, particularly down here at the lake. And you guys are offering that, and that's cool.
And that's what's, I mean, been great working with him, being a builder and the developer too. Even selling the commercial units, people come in and they're like, well, we want a bathroom. And then another person comes in and says, we want the mezzanine and the kitchenette and the bathroom. And it's been great because he's been super flexible. If someone just wants to come in and wants a blank slate shop or something like that, he can do that. But if someone wants something completely finished out, it's been great with that flexibility and in the homes and stuff too. I know they're not wanting to turn these into customs by any means, but if there's certain little things that they want changed, it's easy to do that with him being the builder too.
Yeah. And I think, again, down here at the lake, it's rare to get developments. I mean, you get a lot of one-off builds, and there's a lot of guys building one house here or one house there. But when you get a development where you got a lot to choose from, and you know you're going to have the amenities, that's pretty, you know, that's something down here that you see in St. Louis and Waynesville all the time. They build these big subdivisions. But out down here at the lake, I mean, having that kind of community thing is new. And I think people are going to really enjoy it. It's going to be, and location now with the no toll bridge. I mean, you had to be loving that.
That was good news. Yeah, especially for myself. I live over there.
Yeah, and I live over there too. And I think I paid for that whole wing section. I think of mine, but yeah. But no, I mean, and it's just mental. I mean, it wasn't like a huge amount of money, but at the end of the day, you're like, do I need that bread or do I need that cup of coffee? Because it's going to cost me $6 more to go get it. Now that that's gone, I don't think there's a more central location at the Lake of the Ozarks to get anywhere you want in 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So congratulations on the project. Really happy to have you guys on the program. Maybe have you guys on later on in the year, you know, maybe right in the winter there and see what's going on and kind of keep track of how you guys are doing. And but thanks for joining us today on Coves and Keys. I want you guys to check them out. If you're looking for something unique, if you're looking for something that's a little bit different but has the amenities that you want, and maybe you got some toys and you got a place to put them, they definitely have a garage that'll fit those toys. So thanks, guys, for joining us today. I appreciate having you on. And until the next time on Coves and Keys, we'll see you on the LOZ app.